The very best in classic rock. 96.1 KQPR FM, Albert Lea, Minnesota.
Save more at HyVee. Earn Fuel Saver rewards on over 1,000 items at your Albert Lea HyVee with your HyVee Perks card. Don't have a card? Sign up today. It's free. Go to HyVee.com/perks.
It's time once again to make those New Year's resolutions you absolutely, definitely, probably won't keep. Maybe you've resolved to hit the gym every day. Or at least once a week. Okay, maybe just drive by it on your way to the donut shop. Here's one resolution you can keep. Review your insurance with Americana Insurance Group to ensure you have the exact coverage you need. Americana Insurance in Albert Lea, Wells, and Ellendale. Or visit our website at www.americanainsurance.com. Americana Insurance. Let us help you start the new year right.
Support local hockey and grow your business by becoming an Austin Bruins partner. With customizable packages featuring in-arena exposure, media and digital promotions, and more, your brand will be seen by thousands of passionate fans. Join the team behind the team. Become a sponsor today by calling 507-434-4978 or visiting austinbruins.com.
As the seasons change, so do things at the Pizza Ranch, located in the Northbridge Mall just off I-90 in Albert Lea. Now, senior appreciation pricing is all day Wednesday, not just for lunch. You can also get the buffet for just $11.99 from 11 until 11:29, Monday through Friday, with the early bird discount. Kids still eat free with a paid adult on Tuesdays, and the party rooms are available, seating up to 100 people. It's all at the Pizza Ranch, located in the Northbridge Mall just off I-90 in Albert Lea.
The friendly staff at Albert Lea's Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union reminds you that when you're in need of a home that satisfies your financial needs, let Trades and Labor Credit Union make it easy with checking services, debit cards, home equity loans, and savings options that will earn you more for your money. Visit Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union on Albert Lea's friendly south side. Open 6 days a week with social distancing for your safety and theirs. Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union, member NCUA, providing financial services since 1958.
Power 96.
Hey, and that's right. Coming to you live from Albert Lea HyVee here in the kind of the deli food court area. It's Tiger Sports Saturday. I'm your host, David Nelson, sports director here with Power 96. Just making sure everything's up and running. I am here alone today. No one joining. Caldy, he's not going to join today. Of course, Dylan Thompson won't be with us today because we got a full slate of activities, actually interviews, pre-recorded interviews. But I'm still here live. We're going to be having our Austin Bruins Insider. Of course, that's always recorded just a little bit early because they are on a little bit of a road trip. They're out west. They're in South Dakota for Watertown, facing the Shamrocks, where unfortunately last night they were defeated. I believe it was 3-2 was the score there by your Austin Bruins. The reason why we talk about the Austin Bruins is they're a proud sponsor here at Tiger Sports Saturday, and we're a proud sponsor of the Austin Bruins as well. Some of our other sponsors here for Tiger Sports Saturday, like I said, of course, HyVee here in Albert Lea, the official new home here of Tiger Sports Saturday. Of course, Americana Insurance, Pizza Ranch, and Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union. And I do want to thank Brad again. I think it was Thursday night. I don't even know. I tell you what, folks, right now I don't even know what day it is with the amount of games and things like that. The excitement that we've had with some of these games over the last few weeks. It's like I said, it's very uplifting. And the reason why I wanted to say that is, of course, Mr. Brad Skinnis, he helped call the high school boys basketball game on, I think it was Thursday. Pretty sure it was Thursday. And if it wasn't Thursday, maybe it was Tuesday. But I think it was Thursday. But anywho, do want to thank him. Of course, he does a great job, Caldy running camera. We unfortunately just use internet when we're at the high school. And for those of you who have been inside the high school know, internet doesn't really work the greatest. So unless we can get it hardwired in, we have made that decision now to just have radio when we are in the high school. Just because, we're running on 5G with the internet that we use. But when you're in that bomb shelter that is the Orange Early Gymnasium, it's pretty tough to get internet signal out. Unfortunately, we unless we get some hardwired internet in like we do at the arena and of course at the Gus, we will just be having just radio broadcasts. Which, like I said, if you haven't listened to the radio broadcast, go back and listen. You can actually listen to it on our YouTube channel. So go in and whether you're looking on your phone or your computer or even your TV, go to the YouTube app and then there look for Power 96 Albert Lea, because there's a lot of Power 96s. But you want to make sure you get Power 96 Albert Lea. And right there, boom, bang, you can see everything we've done, which also includes Tiger Sports Saturdays. We've started doing those as well. They're also on the Boxcast as well, just on the audio on the Tiger Sports Saturday. So, like I said, if you are one of those who've stuck around with the Boxcast app, which once again, that's very easy to use. If you have a smart TV, it does work on Roku, Fire, and Apple TVs. Like I said, it's a free app. Just go into Boxcast. So you're going to search for organization. You're going to search for our sister station, which is KDWA. And there you'll see the KDWA logo and the Power 96 logo. And then you can go ahead and watch previous games as well as listen to these Tiger Sports Saturdays. I wanted to go through and look at some local stuff that's going on. Of course, last night, a big I-90 border battle, and some people had asked why we didn't go and cover it. And there's only so many hours in a week. And like I said, we kind of pick and choose what games we can do, as well as make sure that we do keep people able to listen to classic rock as well. So we did not travel last night over to Austin, but Austin and Albert Lea boys hockey played, and Albert Lea come out victorious with a 5-2 win. So congratulations there to the boys hockey team. Today, let's look to see what's going on today in Tiger Sports. Went to AlbertLeeAthletics.com, which of course is the official home there of Albert Lea Tiger Sports. They just show that co-ed dance is up at South St. Paul. Some other things, though, that were added to that today. Of course, wrestling. They're in the Kiffmeyer Duels up at St. Cloud Tech. So that's going on, I think it started at 9 from what I had seen. This shows 8 on the Big9Conference.org site, but I think it said 9. So good luck today to the wrestlers as they're up there. Girls varsity hockey, because it looks like they changed. They're not doing JV. It's just varsity up at New Ulm, and I believe from what I read, it's New Ulm Hockey Day. So good luck to all the New Ulm teams that are celebrating their hockey team on Hockey Day. But, of course, good luck to your Albert Lea Tigers, as hopefully they can become victorious up there and maybe play a little spoiler to New Ulm for their Hockey Day. So that's what's going on today in Tiger Sports as we look at the schedule going on this week. Tuesday, of course, you've got wrestling. That is a triangular over in Alden Conger. Of course, Alden Conger, Glenville Emmons, Albert Lea. It's the Albert Lea area wrestling. They're going to have, it's a triangular. I know we've been asked why we don't cover, more wrestling. It's really difficult as far as a broadcaster, especially now that they don't do just duels. It's triangulars. And they have like 3 a year. That's it. And it's just really tough to move your equipment around and make sure that you're monitoring. So, like I said, not that we're not giving wrestling, trying to give wrestling some love too. we will be going with, going with, should your Albert Lee Tiger Wrestling team make it to state, we are going to be able to cover that. Of course, being part of the Minnesota State High School League as a broadcasting partner, we can go ahead and do that. And so we will cover, just like we did last year. And we'll hopefully have a guest. I know I did have a guest in mind last year, and he'd already previously said he'd do it with another entity. But we'll see. Like I said, he's been doing it with that entity for a long time, so I don't want to take anything away from that. Like I have said, being a local sports broadcaster, the more coverage we can give to our local sports teams, the better. Like I said, there's a lot of different options out there. We hope that you choose Power 96. We try to put the best program that we can out there for you to listen or to watch. But once again, it's really a benefit to these young student athletes to have as much coverage as they can. So whether it's newspaper, radio, streaming, like I said, it's a really neat thing to be able to offer that to those kids, those student athletes. So, but getting back to original point, Tuesday is wrestling. Of course, you do have boys hockey. The JV are actually up at South St. Paul that day, it looks like. Boys JV is up in Northfield. That's at 6 against Northfield. Of course, that's going to be a very tough match. And then boys varsity at Doug Woog Arena at South St. Paul. Basketball, Northfield. Boys 9B, that's at 7 o'clock. 7:30, girls varsity basketball at the Origurley versus Northfield. Guess what? Power 96, we're going to be there to cover that game. That's right. We will not be doing the live streaming of the video. Like I said, just being in that Origurley, we want to make sure we put out a good broadcast. And when we run both video and audio, we were kind of cutting out a little bit on both. We don't want to do it. We want to make sure we have enough bandwidth to cover. So listen to that on 96.1 FM, or you can also stream it via the audio from our website, kqprfm.com, or else go to our new Facebook page as well. We'll talk about that here in a little bit at the end of the show. But yeah, so Northfield boys basketball is where they will be up at. Thursday, 9A is going to play at Chatfield in Chatfield, boys basketball. Co-ed varsity wrestling will be Thursday up at Faribault. Hockey, boys varsity, will be up in Owatonna at the Four Seasons. Once again, co-ed wrestling, it says here, up at 5 o'clock at Faribault for the co-ed JV. Boys JV at 5 o'clock, hockey against Owatonna. 5:30, girls JV hockey will be here at the historic Roy Neister Marina. That'll be at 5:30 against Owatonna. And then swim and dive versus Owatonna at the high school. And then boys JV swim and dive, so both varsity and JV at the high school. Boys basketball, the JV is at Chatfield. Once again, boys varsity hockey will be at 7 p.m. Up at the Four Seasons Center against Owatonna. And then we will have, this says girls varsity. That is not right. It says up at Owatonna as well. It will be girls hockey here from the historic Roy Neister Marina, and that'll be at 7:15. That, again, will be on Power 96. Looking at some other stuff here that I see. Thank you, Caldy, saying that everything's sounding good. So, okay. So that's kind of what's going on this week. You also have dance again this week, that's upcoming weekend, the 16th. That's over at Rochester John Marshall. Varsity wrestling has an invitational on Saturday against Hayfield. Blooming Prairie, New Prairie. Well, no, that's that. So, like I said, you can go ahead and look at all the upcoming events, just go to albertleeathletics.com. And, of course, that's the new official home. That's where you can get your tickets. You can see all the schedules, things like that, rosters, get all that for your Albert Lea Tigers. I want to go ahead real quick here to start the show before we get into some of our interviews. I want to thank our sports boosters. And if you don't know our sports boosters, they are truly who help keep us going and being able to bring you local sports. Without the great group of boosters that we have, we won't be able to do what we do, and that is to make sure we have local sports on local radio. Of course, Americana Insurance, Bayview Freeborn Funeral Home, Southern Minnesota Branding, On the Spot Appliance, Arcadian Bank, Derek's Preferred Auto in Blooming Prairie, Star Granite Works, GT Window and Door, Gutters by GT, the Austin Bruins, Alpha Orthodontics, Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union, Thompson Sanitation, Young Construction and Roofing, Nick's Meats in Hayward, South Main Auto Service in Austin, Freeborn County Solid Waste, North Star Power Sports, Big Cats Customs in Clarks Grove, the Overhead Door excuse me, I just choked up there a little bit. The Overhead Door Company, Albert Lea Convention and Visitors Bureau, Sorensen's Appliance up in Geneva, Collins Auto Repair, Hanson Tire Service of Austin, etc. Credit Union, Marthaler Honda in Owatonna, Design Ready Controls, HyVee in Albert Lea, Jake's Pizza, Shell Rapid Lube, Aero Printing, and Wasika Inc. So, once again, thank you to all of our sports boosters. Many of them have Power 96 playing when you go in. I know, like Shell Rapid Lube, South Main Auto Service. You go in, maybe you're getting your oil changed. Hanson Tire Service of Austin, same. You go in and you're hearing Power 96 while you're getting your oil changed or things like that. Some of your other businesses, I know Derek's Preferred Auto, they'll be playing Power 96 as well occasionally when you go in there. So, like I said, they're supporting us. They're supporting local sports. So make sure you get out and do support them. So I wanted to make sure we give a shout out there real quick. Now I'm going to get over here back into what we got going on. Of course, we're going to start. I shouldn't say start. We're going to continue here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get into our Austin Bruins Insider for the week. And I tell you what, if you haven't heard of an Austin Bruins Insider, David Coyer does a phenomenal job. So thank you, David, for sending this over every week. And if you haven't been to a Bruins game, you're missing out, folks. It is a absolute blast of a time. There's so much stuff going on. They giveaways, Puck-a-Chuck. Like I said, it's a great time, great atmosphere. Of course, concession stands are ran by the Austin Youth Hockey Program. Of course, that's all being ran by, of course, parent volunteers because, just like here in Albert Lea, you got to work your dibs and things like that. And the Austin Youth Hockey runs the concession stand over there. They do a phenomenal job. Great selection, great service. So, like I said, make sure you visit them as well when you are over at an Austin Bruins game. So with that, let's turn it over to Mr. David Coyer. This is this week's Austin Bruins Insider with a very fan favorite, one of the goalies. Here we go.
It's been a long break since the last time we've been here on Power 96 and KQPRFM.com, but we're back with another edition of Austin Bruins Insider, the first of the new year. I'm the voice of the Bruins, David Coyer. Joining me this week, it's the first time we've ever had a goaltender on Austin Bruins Insider as I welcome in my guest today, Cody Butakis, one of the goaltenders for the Austin Bruins. Cody, thanks for joining us here on the show.
Yeah, of course.
So, it's a very special episode. We don't always get to talk to goaltenders, and you guys, to put it nicely, are a bit of a unique bunch. Goalies, there's always those fun, myths and stuff about goalies and how they're very particular about certain things and warm-ups and all that sort of stuff. And we'll dive into that in a little bit. But the first question I have for you that I'm sure fans want to know, with this being your first year with the Austin Bruins, tell us your hockey story. How'd you get started in hockey, and what was your path before joining the Austin Bruins?
Yeah, no, I started when I was about 5 years old. I started with ball hockey, and I was a player. Then I found out what goal equipment was, and I asked to try on some equipment. And when my dad came to pick me back up from this is actually roller hockey, he saw me in goal equipment. I just didn't want to take it off, so I ended up borrowing some equipment for a season, and I fell in love and got myself my own pair of equipment, and went from there. Started ice hockey and just fell in love with the game, and then following going into junior hockey, I've kind of been in Canada, been around a couple of different places, and found myself in Texas earlier this season. And I guess it wasn't the right fit for me, and Austin picked me up, and I'm just loving it here. Great community. I think that's what brings everyone together. I think it's the biggest thing.
No, absolutely. And your story of how you became a goaltender was kind of it was a little different than I asked Jack Solomon that same question last year on his goal line to goal line on how'd you become a goalie, and I don't remember the specifics off the top of my head, but his was something like it was like he didn't want to skate, or he just didn't want to be a defenseman or something like that. He kind of started as a defenseman and just realized it was just going to be easier being a goalie, and that's how he became it. So yours was just you tried on the equipment, and that's how you wanted to be a goalie.
Yeah, well, when I was a player, I always found myself wanting to block the shots.
Sure.
I would get in shot lanes. I guess it would have been a good thing if I was a defenseman, but I would get in front of shots. I would come all the way down to the crease and always want to help the goalie. I always felt for the goalie. So, I guess that's where I'm at now.
And from trying on the equipment to this year, I'm sure fans maybe have noticed, and it's something that I kind of want to tell the fans the story. You had a different set of pads at the beginning of the season, and now fans might be a little confused on why you changed to purple. What's the story behind the purple pads?
Yeah, I was for Lone Star originally, so I ordered my custom pads, and they would match perfect for their colorway. But True took a long time to come in, of course, and so when it came in, I wanted to use them, and they're perfect for me and my size and stuff. So I was like, I have to use them, can't return them. It's too much money to get a new pair. Goalie equipment's too expensive. So that's where I'm at with purple. Stands out.
And that that makes sense. I mean, you ordered them before you came to Austin, which you got here in Austin during the preseason, about midway through the preseason, and the fact that they took until what was that, November until they got here. So it's
about a month ago.
if you had ordered them in when you got here to Austin, a little bit after you got here to Austin, they'd probably just be getting here now. So it makes sense. But I think it's funny that you've got your purple, Solo's got his blue, and so I think fans maybe subconsciously were wondering, it's like, why do they have those colors? So we wanted to make sure to tell that story. But as I said, when I introduced you, goalies are a little bit of a unique bunch, and I compare them, because I come from a baseball background. I compare them to a starting pitcher on game day, where when a starting pitcher is getting ready, you don't talk to him. You let him do his routine. You do that sort of stuff. And last year, being a broadcaster, I talked to the guys before the game sometimes, get a few like kind of how you feeling sort of thing. But with Solo and Carl Axelson, all those guys, they're locked in. I don't want to get them out of their groove. You got here during the preseason. I remember the conversation vividly, where you were kind of just chilling. You were doing your own thing. You'll play tunny ball, and so walk us through your game day routine and how you're just kind of just so relaxed and take things easy.
Yeah, I always get it from all my teammates that I'm fairly normal as a goalie. There's goalies and there's goalies that you can kind of have conversations with on game days and that mess around. But for my game day routine, I like to get here pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
Get there early, be able to have a lot of time to just take it easy, get situated, tape your stick, and stuff like that. And big thing with a couple of players, with a good group of like 6 of us that love some pre-sewer, and I'm a big fan of sewer. Last year was a year where I really started to get good at it, so the better you are, the more fun you have. And besides that, I like to have fun. I like to be a little loose. I don't like to be super dialed in, but when game time starts and the buzzer hits, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and did you learn that the looseness and kind of just having a more relaxed game day? Did you pick that up from like a former teammate or a coach or something like that, or is that just kind of how you've always been?
Yeah, I think just throughout the years and the more experience I've gotten, I understood what is best for me. So it's some days I would try new things when I was younger, and it would be like more dialed in, maybe have my own headphones on, listen to my music, and do my own stuff, maybe meditate. And I found what was right for me as years gone on, and I feel like the more in the middle of being like super locked in, and being loose is where my comfort zone is. And I still have a moment about 20 minutes. Maybe I go to myself and just do my own ball work.
Sure.
And stuff like that really gets me locked in.
Yeah, absolutely. And, speaking of maybe picking up a thing or two along the way, as a goaltender, obviously you guys are a little bit more of a specialized group, have a little bit, learning a little bit different things than maybe the skaters are. And what would you say the best piece of advice in your young career have you picked up from, again, a coach, maybe a player, or even like a goaltending mentor?
Yeah, I feel like the biggest thing is to don't let adversity get to you. Use it as a learning point, and just learn from all the roadblocks that come in your way. Don't be afraid to try new things, and just learn from it all. Every point of like advice you get, or maybe it's criticism, just use it as fuel and just never stop working.
No, that's awesome. And I mean, I think you've shown that a lot this year out on the ice. I mean, you at the beginning of the season, you were kind of relied on as the number one goalie, and now have kind of shifted into that 1A, 1B with Jack Solomon, which we'll get to in a bit. But, talking about your performance on the ice, I mean, you've had a couple of stretches where, maybe struggling a little bit more, but so has the team. And right now, the team's really picked it up, 7 straight wins, first place in the Central Division. Can you speak on just kind of the overall performance that you've witnessed between the pipes of this Bruins team as we're halfway through the season?
Yeah, we definitely came out like pretty strong. There was definitely new players coming in and out, so there's always some changes and practices. We're trying to find what's right for the positions, and sometimes you got to stand on your head, or sometimes the team is there for you. We definitely had an adversity point throughout like about a month or so in, and we're just trying to find our identity and our culture, how we always expressed it on us. And I think the more into the season that we've went on, that we really started to realize what our identity is and our culture, and we show that on the ice, and we practice that during practice every day. And I think that's just kind of how it's been going for us. And I think the more into the season, the better we're going to be.
And early on in the season, I mean, I kind of nicknamed you guys the comeback kids. I mean, there were a lot of those games where the team's down and the offense starts to kick it up in the third period. And from a goalie's perspective, I mean, when you're early on in those games, you let 2-3 go by you in the first period, and the team's down, and you're going to have to stand on your head basically to battle back. I mean, what goes through your head when you're in that position? Obviously, we know that the skaters, they're not trying to allow too many opportunities to make you guys work hard, but I mean, when you guys are, it really comes down to you guys keeping pucks out of the net as much as it is, your teammates scoring.
Yeah, I think it's just pressure. Diamonds are made under pressure, and I feel like that's it's a big thing for a goalie. Is if you can't handle pressure, it's going to be tough to be in that position. Pressure is everything, especially if a couple go by. You got to keep a level head and let the pass go by you, and just focus on the next shot and reset. In between whistles is a big thing for me, just a reset. And you might see me do my own little thing. Maybe it's a squirt the water bottle, skate to the corner, and whatever. Take deep breaths. You just got to focus on shift by shift.
And you bring up a good point there. You do a little in between the whistles, have your little things that you do, and I'm sure a lot of people are probably wondering, like, you're the only guy out on the ice who's out there the entire time. Obviously, everyone else is shifting, and you have to kill time sometime, especially you're on one end of the ice, the face-off's happening on the other, or in a media timeout, or a long whistle when they're doing penalties or stuff like that. What do you kind of do to entertain yourself, or to keep yourself sane there in between the pipes? Are you talking to yourself? You having a conversation, or you kind of just sitting there dialed in?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of talking to yourself. Self-talk was a big thing I just love to do.
Sure.
It's not like almost conversations to yourself, but it's just maybe key things I say to myself, just reminders to stay focused, or whatever's going on. Maybe it's something that happened in the game is like, just keep doing that, or do this next time.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it. I kind of like, I find myself, I'll be like a quarterback.
Sure.
On the back end. Maybe it's even in the offensive zone. Maybe they don't hear me, but I'm saying things just so I'm staying in the game.
Yeah.
And but especially in the D zone, I'm definitely trying to coach as much as possible just to stay focused.
David Coyer here with Cody Buticus, one of the goaltenders for the Austin Bruins here on Bruins Insider. I mentioned your relationship with Jack Solomon, and last week you were named first star of the game on Friday in the win over St. Cloud. And, Peter Theodos asked you a question about your relationship with Jack Solomon, and I think, it's fair to say that goaltenders often, they want to be the guys in the net. They want to feel that pressure. They want to feel that adversity. They want to be the guys who are getting those wins. And I feel like yours and Jack's relationship, it really isn't that. I feel like it's a very much supported relationship, where that if the other one's in the net, you're going to be cheering the other one on. And you even said that you guys have become best friends since he returned to the Bruins for his second season. Is that accurate a way to describe your relationship with Jack?
Yeah, when Howie brought me the news that Solo's coming back, I just looked at it as like I questioned myself. I was like, okay, like now I'm not gonna be the starter. It's gonna be a 1A 1B situation, and I haven't had that in my past few years. I kind of been the guy, and I would fought for that. But with that coming in, I kind of found myself really liking it, especially building a relationship with him. And like it was maybe he's outside of the rink, we're doing things together, or grabbing food, or going out to Rochester and just shopping around, and just being together and building a relationship was really huge for us. And I find it on the ice and in practice that we really push each other, but we have fun with it.
Yeah.
We support each other in the games. We're on the bench. We're talking to each other. Maybe it's in the locker room, and we're just really want to see each other succeed. So I was super happy for him to get that D1 commitment, and we're just push each other every day.
Jack Solomon recently committing to Air Force Division I NCAA hockey, so great to see that. A couple more commits as well with the Marcianock twins. This team got a lot of talent on it, and of course 2 great netminders for the Austin Bruins. And talking about great netminders, I mean you've been kind of on a bit of a hot streak as of late. 6 straight wins, and then in 11 of your 17 games you've allowed 2 or fewer goals. I mean, can you just talk about your performance and how you feel like you've done personally this season since joining the Bruins?
Yeah, there was I guess I could say I try to be as consistent as possible. That's a big thing as a goaltender, and especially with my last season, I want to be as consistent as possible. I feel like there was some up and down, especially with the team, so we fought through that, and we're on a roll right now. And I think it all starts with practice and my off-ice routine. As consistent as that is as consistent as you're going to play. So you play how you practice. But yeah,
no,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I mean that again, you've been showing it out on the ice, and you and Jack. I mean, the 7 straight wins for the Bruins don't happen without you and Jack. And of course, last week 3 wins for the team. Short week. It's always good to see you guys out there, and you guys have you guys have been rotating between. Sometimes you both play back-to-back games. Sometimes it's a Friday Saturday sort of situation. Do you find yourself heading into a weekend maybe knowing that it's going to be, you're going to get both or Jack's going to get both, and do you prepare differently for those kind of games, or do you kind of go in saying that you're going to get at least one game?
Yeah, so when he came back, we were experimenting with things because last year they had a Friday Saturday situation with both goalies, but this year we tried it. We weren't being super consistent, so we kind of went to a thing where every Friday we rotated goalie. We get that start, and if they earn the next game, they get to play. If they play super well,
Sure.
and get the win and maybe steal the game. But if not, there's going to be some weekends where we know that we're splitting just because of the situation that we're in. And but it's been good to just be able to focus on one game at a time for us, and kind of building consistency for the whole team as a whole.
Halfway through the season, in first place in the Central Division, 2 points up on the Bismarck Bobcats. Looking ahead to the second half of the season, I'll ask you, 2 separate questions and have you answer one of them first. So, personally for you, how do you want to see yourself grow in this second half of the season, and what do you expect out of yourself coming down to the stretch and fighting for that first seed in the Robertson Cup playoffs?
Yeah, I definitely believe I have better, always have better. There's always more to achieve, so I'm just really trying to focus on the little things in practice, maybe just nitpicking on small details, especially with the goalie coach or even just by myself. Goes into doing extra video or just talking and fighting for the position. I feel like working hard and battling against each other also just helps. So just down the line, I just going to continue just being my best I can every night and showing what I can do for the team and help them out to find a win every day.
And now looking at it from the team perspective, I mean, still a lot of season left to go. Bruins kind of in a comfortable spot right now, at least for securing a playoff spot. Obviously, you want that number 1 seed, want that home ice advantage throughout the playoffs. But what does the team as a whole have to do to not get complacent as the season goes on and continuing to win some of these games that they know they need to win and, secure a good position for those playoffs?
Yeah, we all have the goal in mind, and it's a single goal, and then we're all fighting for it as a whole. And I believe that we want to achieve them as much as we can, the highest that we can. So we're just going to continue fighting, just day in, day out, and have each other's backs and show what character that we do have, and that's what we've shown on certain nights where we come back.
Yeah, absolutely. And tonight, at the time that this will air Saturday here on Power 96, KQPRFM.com, the Bruins are in the middle of a 2-game series with the Watertown Shamrocks. You can watch tonight's game on NATV or over at the official road game destination of the Austin Bruins, Lansing Corners. A great atmosphere there. They'll have the games on the TV. Great food, great drinks as well over at Lansing Corners. So if you're not able to watch at home, make sure you head over there to catch all of the Bruins action. Next month, Paint the Rink Pink Night. Have you heard about Paint the Rink Pink?
I have heard about it. I'm excited for it because I haven't seen a rink that's been pink.
I was actually just talking to Alex Perot a little bit ago because I posted a video this morning at the time of recording, and he didn't realize that we actually painted the ice pink.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where he's like, I thought that's just what you guys called it. We paint the ice pink. Have you heard things about it from teammates, and what are your feelings heading into a game like that? Because it gets packed here.
I'm super excited for it. I know a lot of the fans after games are talking about it, and I see that we do some skits, I believe, maybe after. It's going to be some fun, so hopefully we can pull out the win for the fans as well.
No, it's always a great time on Pink Night. Last year was my first year, so I got to actually experience it. You see all the videos, you see all the pictures. It doesn't hit you until you actually see that ice pink, so that's really excited. So make sure you get your tickets for that as well, tickets.austinbruins.com. That game does sell out, so make sure you get your tickets as early as possible. Flex tickets not available for Paint the Rink Pink Night, so make sure you head on over to tickets.austinbruins.com. We're going to close this one out. Haven't done this with a goalie yet, since I haven't had a goalie here on Bruins Insider, but it's this or that. So I'll give you 2 different options, and you just kind of pick which of the 2 options you would rather prefer. Okay. The questions very much are tailored towards forwards and defensemen, and since we haven't had a goalie on here, I was debating if I wanted to change some of them, but I'm kind of curious to see what you would answer. So think about it just as what you would prefer if you were out on the ice in some of these situations. So are you ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Breakaway or one-timer?
Breakaway.
So, and that's you would rather score a breakaway goal if you were out there?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, from another side of things, because now we get this perspective, which, as a goalie, would you rather face, a breakaway chance or a one-timer?
Probably breakaway. One-on-one, just me versus the player.
It's just pure skill at that point. Yep. Top shelf or 5-hole?
Would I rather
Would you rather score, yeah?
Top shelf.
Top shot. Got to go top shelf? Okay. Slap shot or wrist shot?
Slap shot.
Okay. Oh, you got some power behind that. Are you going to get an empty net goal this year?
I would love to.
If you had to pick between you and Solo, who's more likely to score an empty netter? Who would you pick?
I don't know. I feel like none of us have ever went for it. I know in practice we'll mess around shooting the puck down to each other. I would be awesome for one to score. I would love to score one in my career.
Solo almost had one against North Iowa last year, and he was very frustrated that he didn't get it. He tried getting the shot off, and I don't think it made it out of the zone. But he I know is searching for one this year. Shutout or OT winner, and this is more as a team.
So
would you rather have the team get a shutout, or would you rather see an OT winner for your team?
Shut off.
Selfishly, you want a shutout. There you go.
As much as an OT winner feels great, but I feel like a shutout would be awesome.
Power play or PK?
Like would I rather?
Would you rather be on the power play or the PK?
I'd rather be on the power play.
Rather be on the power play. As a guy who said he liked being a defenseman growing up, you'd rather be on the power play. Okay.
Well, as I got older, I would feel cool to score a goal. I never felt that.
That's fair. Skating drills or shooting drills?
Shooting drills.
Shooting drills, okay. Scoring a goal or an assist on a goal?
I like to be the guy to score a goal.
Be the guy to score the goal. We have had some people answer assist, so it's not a matter of being selfish or anything like that, but obviously scoring a goal, it's a lot cooler. And then if you weren't the goaltender for the Austin Bruins, would you rather be the team's mascot or the Zamboni driver?
Mascot.
Mascot? Okay, yeah. So would you take Bruiser's position, or would you be like Bruiser's assistant? Because Bruiser does a pretty good job.
Yeah, maybe get another mascot roaming around.
So Cody Buticus and Bruiser as mascots for the team. We could maybe make that happen. But this has been another edition of Austin Bruins Insider with netminder Cody Buticus. The Bruins in action this weekend against the Watertown Shamrocks before hitting the road next week against the Bismarck Bobcats. You can catch all the action on NATV, or you can head over to the official road game destination of the Austin Bruins, Lansing Corners. But Cody, appreciate you joining the program today. Appreciate for all your insight and, of course, being the historic first goaltender on Austin Bruins Insider. For Cody Buticus, I've been David Coyer. You've been listening to another edition of Austin Bruins Insider right here on the official home of Austin Bruins Insider, Power 96 and KQPRFM.com.
And that, of course, was the this week's Austin Bruins Insider. And I tell you what, Cody, just a good kid. All in all, Bruins have a lot of great kids. But like I said, Cody, just a great kid. I know if you follow the Bruins Insider, Bruins Facebook, his dad's on there all the time too. So I see him liking a lot of things. So, like I said, just a very great kid there. That may be the next jersey. I was thinking about getting a Solomon jersey, Jack's jersey, but I'd have to get Cody's. Of course, I'm not the littlest feller, so I want a goalie jersey. Maybe Cody or David, if you're listening, just keep that in mind. All right, I tell you what, this is going pretty fast here today, folks, on your Tiger Sports Saturday. I've got another interview. It's another great interview, but I want to go ahead and thank our sponsors, of course, here for Tiger Sports Saturday. Of course, HyVee and Albert Lee, your official home of Tiger Sports Saturday. Americana Insurance, the Pizza Ranch, Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union, and, of course, the Austin Bruins. And every so often, we get kind of back-to-back interviews with certain people from the district. And this is another thing. Mr. John Double, of course, he's with the community ed. He yesterday on Tiger Talk, he had talked about the adult education, but he wanted to have a little more time and talk about some of the other things for some of the younger kids. So we're going to go ahead and play that right now. Here's my interview with Mr. John Double from the Albert Lee Community Education. All right, we're here now with John Double here at Tiger Sports Saturday. And John, yesterday on Tiger Talk, you talked with Ron a little bit about more of the adult educational stuff that you and your staff are doing there at the Albert Lee Education Center. But let's talk a little bit more about that youth today, especially maybe some of the younger ones.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me on today. With our early learning program, we've got a lot of different things going on. And as we're getting wrapped up or starting to think about next year, I should say. So it's hard to believe that the upcoming school year is something we already have to start thinking about, but it's already here. It's crazy to think that way. Kindergarten registration is already open for next school year, if you can believe that already. But it is open through our school district website. You can register online. We've got some registration events coming up. There's one at the end of January here on January 22nd, all day long here at Brookside. It goes from 7:30 in the morning till 6:30 at night. So if you're needing help or you want to come in and check things out as well, great opportunity to get your students registered for kindergarten and get that taken care of. At the same time, we can also do registration for preschool. So that's when our preschool registration will open up for next year, as we're still finalizing some of those details. For kindergarten registration, they need to be 5 by September 1st.
Okay.
So their birthday needs to be by September 1st. Then they're going to be going into kindergarten. If their birthday is after September 1st, depending on which birthday it is, if there's 3 or 4 by September 1st, they'll be able to get into one of our preschool programs. So we have a few different programs there that we're going to see how registration goes for the upcoming year. We have our preschool 4s class, so that one will be specifically for students who are 4 years old by September 1st. And they have to be 4 in order to be in that program. They also can't be 5, so kind of one of those things. Mm-hmm. We also have a preschool, we're calling it, because that one you can be 3 or 4 years old by September 1st.
Okay.
And that's done with our school readiness program that we have as well. So just another funding source as we braid so many things together to make what we do happen. We have a Little Sprouts program that's also for 3 or 4 years old, again by September 1st. And that program is only 2 days a week. So a kind of a shorter version. If you're not sure that you want to send them for 4 days a week, yeah, you got 2 days a week at that level. The preschool fours class, going back to that one, is a 5-day-a-week program, which is really nice half-day program. Gives lots of opportunity with our teachers and our staff as they grow. The preschool program and the Little Sprouts program, those are going to be 4 days a week for preschool, 2 days a week for Little Sprouts, and those again also run about a half day long. The other thing that we started a few years ago and has really gone over well is our Outdoor Adventures class. So we take everything you need to learn for preschool and we put it outside.
Okay.
And neat opportunity. We've got a nice learning center outside. There's some picnic tables. We've got the woods are out there. We've got a set of chairs. They've got some cut-off stumps that they can sit on when they do their gathering time. They've got a rowboat they can sit in. But a lot of outside learning time in that fresh air, but also just a different way to look at a lot of the same skills. That one is actually year-round.
Oh, it is year-round.
This year they only offered it in the afternoons. Sometimes in the morning it still gets to be a little bit too cold to have it outside. But in the afternoon, usually we're in the heat of the day. So we do our best to be outside. We have the rain gear, so if it's wet, they can be outside. We encourage families, of course, to make sure they've got their winter gear, because if it's a day that we can be outside, we will be outside.
Okay.
If it does drop well below, 0 or below, those types of things, we do have an inside option. But again, the idea of the outdoor class is to be outside as much as we can.
Yeah, and I know your staff, you guys do an amazing job. I know we were one of those that fell into that category where me and my wife were I was in my 40s, she was in her late 30s, but when we had our first child, and of course all of our other friends, their kids have already been, through everything. We had no clue where to start, and you and your staff have definitely, been lifesavers, directing our family on where to stick our son through those things, and even like with the preschool and the preschool fours, things like that. You guys really work with them too with some of their developmental needs. I know, like with our son, he's an only child, so he's spoiled, he's very whatever. But you and your staff, you definitely have the tools and the skill set to be able to guide them where they need to go to continue their education into kindergarten and further on.
No, that's great to hear. It's been, we try to help each family where they're at. That way when they're coming in, everyone's scenario is going to be a little bit different. And here's what we can do to help your student along the way. Another piece we try to encourage everybody to take part in is that early childhood screening.
Mm-hmm.
We want to get folks or their students when they're 3 years old to go through the screening. There's no commitment more than just the time to come in and get screened. And then from there, you get some good information out of that. You get some resources on different things that are available in the community. But just a nice way to come in, and we check vision, we check hearing, do the whole height and weight thing. That was the part that always scared me, of course. But other than that, a great opportunity to kind of see where your student is at and provide you some resources in our community.
Yeah, and of course, you guys have other options as well. Let's talk a little bit more about with this WA care and what is specifically what that leads into.
Well, a lot of times with the early learning pieces, when they get into one of the half-day classes, they still need care for the rest of the day. So it's we've got 2 different child care options that we work with. One of them that is tied to our school readiness and our preschool 4 VPK classes is that wraparound care. Wraparound care, basically, if your student's in school in the morning, but you are not able to pick them up until 3 o'clock, we have a midday and an afternoon session that they can be a part of. So they're here. We take care of feeding them. They have activities to do. Sometimes in the afternoon there's a nap time yet for students, but it helps wrap around the class or classes that you've chosen to take. And so that's with that name of wraparound care. So helping fill out the day. That one opens at 6:45 in the morning. It's available till 5:15 in the evening. So if you're working, again, it helps out with that working schedule of when they need to be picked up and dropped off. Tiger Cub is another thing we have here. We have our licensed child care right on site. And we've been able to work with our preschool programming So since they're downstairs, we just walk them across the hall to their class, and then when they come back, they get dropped off right at the door. So there are those hand-to-hand handoffs. The piece of Tiger Cub is Tiger Cub does have a minimum contract piece. So as long, and that has tended to work for most of our families. So the preschool is above and beyond the Tiger Cub piece, but it's something where it still works within your time there. Tiger Cub is an advantage they have is they take CCAP as well as the early learning scholarships. Our wraparound care does take early learning scholarships just like our preschool program does. We are trying to see what we can do with wraparound to see for next year if maybe we can get CCAP approved, and we think we may be able to accomplish that. We just don't have it in place yet. So we're still working on that, hoping to have an answer soon. But yeah, so just some neat options for, unlike our K-12 students who end up going to school for the whole day and you're not having to worry about them for the whole day, a lot of our preschool options, or all our preschool options, are half-day programs. Mm-hmm. So with that, it does lend that daycare piece. What are they doing when they're not at preschool?
And especially for working families, where you're maybe getting them into that point where they're going to start going to school, but certain daycares want you to sign up for full days. This is a great option.
Yes, no, it's nice. The wraparound care, you can just, it's like a cafeteria plan. You only sign up for what you need. Tiger Cub is more of the daycare full day thing, but if you need more than the standard day anyway, it could work out very well to your advantage.
How many staff, teachers, do you guys currently have there on staff?
Oh, that's a great question. I would say in our early learning department, we've probably got about 20 to 25 for the different programs that we run. That would be inclusive of our early learning program, so the 4-year-old program, the 3-year-old program, our Little Sprouts program, the Outdoor Adventures, as well as our ECSE programming, which that's the Early Childhood Special Education. And they do some wonderful things for our students that have those additional needs. But putting all those together as a department, it's really neat with what that can be done. Separate from that, our wraparound care has 3 to 4 regular staff members there, and our Tiger Cub Center has about 10. So some good people working around, and then they're all working for that same piece of doing the best that we can for our students.
Yeah, and I know that's some of the concerns is, well, how many kids are to a teacher, and you definitely have smaller class sizes, which is really nice. I know, like I said, even with our family, just all the teachers, even though they might not have our son, they know his name. I mean, that's how tight knit your staff really is, and how they kind of fluctuate with each other there at the educational center.
Absolutely, and when you get into the pre-K levels, there's actually ratios that have to be maintained. So when you're looking at that pre-K age, it's a 10 to 1 adult to student ratio. So there's 2 adults in the room for up to 20 students, and that's so there's always adult supervision available.
Anything else you want our listeners to really know about the early child care? I mean, we have talked a lot about different things today. We've talked about that early child care assessments, things like that. What else do we really need to know about?
Well, and looking at some of the stuff that's available this month, obviously we talked again about the kindergarten registration being open now, and again, get the registrations done the sooner the better. And the only reason I say that is it allows for us to prepare the best we can for your students coming next year. Usually in the spring we try to do kind of in previous years we've done like a roundup event at the elementaries. It's more their thing than it is what we know. So I don't know everything about those, but watch for those. But if you're already registered for kindergarten, you'll be able to get that information as soon as it's available. Our pre-K registration will start on that January 22nd. And again, that's getting your name on the list and registering for what programs you're going to be interested in for your students. At that time, you'd also be able to register for wraparound care if that's something that you're going to need. And that way you could have a plan, hopefully going into the summer or early summer at the worst. Tiger Cub registration will open up later on this year once we know a little bit more, but usually we open that up late spring so that people can plan ahead for their upcoming year. Early childhood screening, you can call at any time. And that number 507-379-4838. There it is. make sure that you call and get yourself an appointment. We do those every month. So we have a Thursday night and a Friday all day, so you have plenty of times to get in. But get your student screened. It's an important thing. And then to top it all off, our books hit the shelves just under a month ago, so our mailboxes. So everybody should have the new community ed books at home, and there's a whole section on early childhood family education classes. These classes even expound what we know for or expand what we know from pre-K programming all the way to down to babies.
Okay.
And so we have classes for parents called Baby Buds, where it's for you and your baby to come in and learn about their development and how those things are going. We have toddler classes. We have kind of the preschool type of classes. We have a lunch club that goes on. There's an evening class called Growing Together. It's a great way to develop a network, but also to develop the skills needed to help as you work with your students. You know, some folks are first-time parents, and so as they're going through, these are getting some guidance on how it's going to look. What do I need to know? What are they going to do in the next 3 months that I need to be worried about or thinking about?
Yeah.
All of those pieces. So, but a whole lot of different classes that are listed for our early childhood family education programming. So some really neat options. Registration is open for those. Our series classes start next week, so register anytime you can. It's open online. That way we can get you signed up and get those classes going. And for those that are working through the shifting from diapers to pull-ups, we even have a bye-bye diapers class. So to help with that, if you're looking for strategies on how best to look at the potty training and how to get your student to that, or your child to that next level, we've got that available.
That's bye-bye diaper.
Bye-bye
I know
diaper.
we're in that household where our son he's had some issues with surgeries things down there, and you know, and like the doctors have said, they'll potty train when they're ready. So it's really nice that you guys offer a class like that.
Yep, and just some of those things of tips, tricks, things to keep in mind. There's a variety of reasons, and sometimes you know, letting you know that you're probably going to go through it and you think you're going to be just fine, and all of a sudden they're going to regress for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And don't worry, that's normal. You know, sometimes that's a big piece of what parents hear in our classes is, yep, that's something that's normal to see, hear, experience, that others can tell you from the classes that they're in that same place. Sometimes parenting can feel more like an island, and you're wondering if you're the only one that's going through this, and so having peers and knowledge staff to help tell you, no, you're not the only one. This is a normal thing that's going to happen. That can really help parents as well.
Yeah, you have so much to offer with community education, from early child to late child to even adult. I mean, you guys have so much going on there.
Yes, we've looked to serve the entire community, and that's, you know, everything from our expectant moms to when they're babies to our experienced adults that are out there, everything in between. We try to have different programs to serve everyone's needs, and or at least address the needs when we can find those instructors to do so. But yes, we do serve a good section of the community and enjoy doing so.
Well, and we definitely enjoy having you and your staff and what you guys all do there. Like I said, for the residents here of Albert Lea, and John, I thank you again for shedding some light on some of these different things that you guys have to offer. Like I said, even as a new parent, or maybe an experienced parent, or that maybe that parent, things constantly change, and you guys are definitely there to assist with to direct the people where they need to go.
No, thank you for the time. Really appreciate it. Just that opportunity to share what we're doing and finding out that these programs exist, because sometimes when we're looking for the help or the resources, we don't know where to look or to start looking. And so appreciate the time to be able to connect with your listeners and our community on just, hey, we're here, give us a call, and we can help.
Sounds good. This has been John Double. We'll be back with more on Tiger Sports Saturday here live from Albert Lea HyVee on Power 96.
And once again, thank you to Mr. John Double for that interview. Of course, everything that him and his staff do there at the Community Education Center. Of course, Brookside, like I said, just a phenomenal place there. Can't say enough about it. We're just a little bit over time here on a Tiger Sports Saturday, so we're going to get you on the way out here. I do want to thank our sponsors, though, again, HyVee here in Albert Lea. Of course, they got a lot of great deals going on. They've got some meat sales. They got the, like I said, just a whole bunch of things. I know I was kind of looking at the ad, some of the things, with the fresh, boneless, skinless, lean, hand-trimmed chicken breasts to HyVee yogurt. Like I said, it's just they have so much stuff. So get on out here to HyVee. So thank you guys so much for hosting us here on Tiger Sports Saturday. Of course, Americana Insurance, Pizza Ranch, Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union, and the Austin Bruins. With that, I got to get you on out. Thank you all for spending a little bit of time with me today. Make sure you go out and thank our sponsors, our sports boosters, and keep local sports on local radio. With that, I've been Sports Director Dave Nelson here, Tiger Sports Saturday on Power 96.
Power 96, the very best in classic rock. 96.1 KQPR FM, Albert Lea, Minnesota.
Everybody loves the season of giving, but now the season of paying for it is upon us. That not-so-wonderful time of the year when millions of Americans open their credit card statements, stare in horror at the balance, and resolve then and there to find new ways to save money. If you're among those Americans, why not start by cutting your wireless bill in half right now with Pure Talk's Saver Plan? It's easy. You'll get unlimited talk, text, and 3 gigs of high-speed data on a super-fast, nationwide 5G network for just $20 a month.